Sorry，差不多。Okay, welcome to our New York stream. Yeah, I'm just wait. Basically, 8:30 is the New York open, so we'll just see what we will get from the market before we actually execute any positions. All right. So as usual, I'm currently looking at gold. In about few more seconds, we will have the New York Open, and we will be looking at some volume. All right. But let's keep in mind today's Friday, right? So usually on a Friday, market tend to be a little bit more volatile. Okay. We have the news for the Empire State Manufacturing at 8:30 now, and then later at 9:15 as well, and 10 o'clock. All right. But I don't think that this news will actually give any huge impact to the market, right? So we'll just see how it goes. As I've said, I still have my sell limit at this level, right? Uh, I'm still waiting for it to be reaching that zone before I actually take a position, all right? So in the time being, I will actually look onto a different chart first, all right, to see if there's any possible entries. Just give me a moment. Right, so right now I'm looking at CHF JPY for a potential sell, but the price has broken above where I intend to take a position, right? So it has been rallying since 3 p.m. today, all right, and has gone to about 128 pips from this low here. All right, so we'll see how it goes before I take any position for CHF JPY. We'll just go through with a very quick analysis before we actually target a few pairs to see which are we really keen on taking. All right. For AUD and ZD, we have a newer zone. Right, so basically I'll be waiting for price to tap in as usual on my 618 to 786 level. All right. So this is where I'll be waiting for a buy for AUD and ZD. Let's look at GBP. So same goes for GBP and ZD. We have this newer zone here, right? And also similar to AUD and ZD, we are also looking for a buy back at this level. All right, basically demand area here. All right. We'll just go through quickly just to see any possible pairs. All right. Before we actually execute any trades. So for AUD USD, it's selling momentum here. All right. Looking at this level here, basically we just wait for this break below before we take any position. But not forgetting that this can be taken, right? But if you're looking at this zone here, our supply zone here, right? We do see that the candle has broken above, right? So we'll just see how this new 15-minute candle is going to react before we hop in for a sell, all right? Because even to hop in for a sell, we need the price to break below this blue line here, all right? This horizontal line, then with a retracement, then we can actually take a sell. All right, so we'll just wait out and see how this is going to go. For GBP USD, I don't think we will be seeing any movement right now. All right, we'll just keep this in view for next week. All right, because GBP USD has made this massive dump yesterday, right, from the top here all the way to the bottom, right? It has did this 92 pip drop. So after this dump, it has been ranging since. All right, so we'll just see how the market is going to be before we actually take any possible entries. All right, but I think this is a pair that we will see more of a volume next week. All right, so this one we just avoid for now. Right, so basically Euro JPY, like I've said, I'll be waiting for this zone here, right? It did this tap in, right? It did a new lower low here, right? And then it broke above, but this price did not actually retrace. The price, I was actually looking at this today in the afternoon, right? The price did not retrace back to this level where it broke. So if the price did not retrace, then like I've said, it just started to rally all the way high, all the way up to basically our high here, which is here, which is where we're targeting our TP, right? So we do see 15-minute candle, just a huge pump, and then it just continue all the way, right? So definitely something that even with a very solid confirmation, something that we wouldn't be able to catch, all right? So we will look for a newer range for Euro JPY. We'll look at a newer range to see if there's a possible entry for us. Right, so probably I'm guessing it's about somewhere at this level. Yeah, yeah, barely tap in here, right? So we'll be actually eyeing at it at the 618 to 786. All right. Euro AUD is the similar move, right? We finally have this break above. Okay. It's been waiting for this since last week for this to actually break, and it finally did. So we'll just see if we are able to get a new range here. So let's just see Euro AUD on the 50 minute. If there's a newer range, then we will be looking for a buy position. All right. NZD JPY. So yesterday, basically for all JPY pair, it suddenly did a massive dump, right? So basically there's no news or whatever, right? But it just started dumping all the JPY pairs. So I think we will be seeing a movement downwards, which for JPY, it's strengthening. All right, so we'll see more movement probably next week because today's a Friday and next week on a Tuesday we do have the BOJ monetary policy, right? So we'll see how that goes. It might give the Japanese yen a little bit more strength compared to previously, which has been dropping. All right, so we'll just wait out for next week for all JPY pairs to see if we are able to get something out of the market. All right, so for NZD JPY, what I'm looking at is about this range here, right? Which we do see the price currently has a tap in, all right, and I'll be looking at this level here to be broken before we start selling taking a position, all right. Looking back at AUD USD. We're looking at almost a 1 to 2 risk reward. Okay, we'll just wait out to see how this goes. Just in about a few more minutes, we'll see the candle close. Right, then we will decide how we're going to go about this. AUD JPY is slightly different. Just give me a minute. As for AUD JPY, we do see a structure that's being formed, which is the market is moving towards the upside. Right, so at the moment we are getting something like this. Alright, so right now we are looking at something like this for the 15 minute for AUD JPY. Alright, so we may be looking for some buy opportunities. AUD CHF. Right, so basically AUD CHF is nearing the final, the lowest point it has ever made since Tuesday early this week and also Monday. Right, since beginning of the week it has been ranging and rising, and then it started to dump since yesterday up until today. Yes, it has still been dumping. Right, we'll see how the market goes before we actually take any position, because as we do see the price has broken below, right, and it went back in and started to dump again. Right, so this is something that we wouldn't want to take a risk on. All right, we'll see how this goes. If this is going to continue breaking to the downside, then we will use this as well. All right, moving on to hour four. So like I've mentioned, basically Euro USD, I'll be looking for buys at this level. Right, so right now the price is slowly nearing the zone already. All right, it has tapped into the 0.5 and barely tapped to the 618, or about 6 pips more. Right, and the moment it taps in, I'll be waiting for a buy at this zone here. All right, uh, before we start taking a buy, we just want to see this tap in, and with some sort of structure and some sort of confirmation for us before we start buying, because this will be on the hour four, right? So basically, your stop losses is going to be slightly bigger, your TP is going to be slightly bigger, everything is going to be bigger, right? So we'll just watch out for this tap in before we take any position. All right, GBP JPY as well, tap in on the 50. Did not tap in on the 0.618 and started to rally. It has gone about 106 pips. Yeah, 177 pips since. Alright, we'll see how this goes. This is also on the hour 4. Alright, so we'll just keep an eye before we actually make a move. Alright, GCAT is not breaking towards the upside. We have a new price point that we are looking at. As long as price breaks above this blue line here, then we will look for a buy. Alright, GBP AUD looking for a sell at this zone here. Before the tap in, I will just not take any position as usual, right? The moment it taps in, we want to see a change in the market structure before we start dumping. All right, okay, so USD CAD, we have something on hour 4, but this is a slightly, I would say, much higher risk. Right, so basically we do have this change in the market, right? If I'm hopping onto the hour 1, we do see this change on the market, right? So if you are looking at something like this at the moment, Right? Rather big risk to reward. All right. But at the moment, the price hasn't tapped in on the price point where we will be taking a sell. Right. So we'll just wait out to see how this goes. But if you're gonna take an entry on the hour four, then it will be slightly riskier. Right. So I will refine it on the minute 15. I will look for possible entries on the minute 15. All right. Okay. NZD USD is dumping again. It's dumping. Almost nearing back to this zone here. We'll see if this is going to continue dumping or it's going to rally again. All right, USD JPY on the 15, we have a break. At the moment for USD JPY, I'm looking at something like this here. Looking for a buy as well. And finally, CAD JPY. CAD JPY has been broken higher, right? Like I said just now. So we'll see how this goes before we actually take any second entry or whatever. All right. All right. So I think for now I do have two pairs that I'll be keeping a close eye on, which is AUD USD and also USD CAD. Right, because these two we might have a potential entry. But as for AUD USD, the risk to reward isn't as beautiful, right? We can see that our risk to reward is a 1 to 1.8, right? Not even reaching 1 to 2, right? But as for USD CAD, because this is based on the hour four, right? So on hour four, definitely you will be looking at a much bigger RR, right? Which is a 1 to 9, right? So I think I will keep an eye on USD CAD closer, because I do think that we may be able to get something out of this here. All right. If you guys have any questions or anything that you don't understand, please do just feel free to just say anything in the chat box. All right. All right. I have set a pending order. If you guys would like, uh, you can join me as well. Just let me, just give me a moment. Alright, so a sell limit has been placed here for USD CAD. There's a possibility that I might be trailing my entry point, alright, but we'll see how this goes first, alright. Reason for that is basically on the hour 4 we do have this break below here, and if I move on to my hour 1 we do see this as well. So basically I'm taking this entry based on a market structure change on the hour 4, right? But this candle isn't closed yet, and hence that is why I said it's a very risky entry. All right, but if you guys would like to join me, feel free to. All right, as I've already placed a sell limit. All right. So we do have news coming in later, about a medium impact news at 9:15, and at 10 o'clock we do have this prelim UOM, University of Michigan consumer sentiment. All right, so it's previous is 76.9, the forecast is 77.1, and you need this to be greater than the forecast, right? Uh, we'll see, because the difference is only like 0.2 and some change, right? So that's what we are looking at. Even if we look at this Empire State Manufacturing, it wasn't good for the US dollar, right? The forecast is -7, right? The forecast itself is showing that it's bad for the dollar. The actual came out as a -20, right? So it's a very huge difference, a difference of -13.9, right? So we'll see how this goes at 10 o'clock. But right now I am confident with this entry level. So I'll just set this here as it is. All right, and we'll just see how it goes. So bear in mind, this is a very tight stop. It's only a 12 pip stop, and we are targeting a risk to reward of 1.9. All right, 9.73 to be exact. So we'll see how this goes.
feel free to just ask me anything. Yeah. If I can help you guys, I will definitely give you an answer. But if you're asking something that doesn't really relate to this, then I won't be answering to that question. All right. Okay, welcome to talk. I have a sell limit for USD CAD. Yeah, so if you guys would like to join me, please do so. All right. So I just type it out. Or if you guys can see where I actually placed it, right? So this is my entry level here. This would be my stop loss, right? And my TP is all the way down here. All right. If you want to get the exact price of where I entered, make sure to hop on to my Telegram channel. All right. So this is my Telegram channel here. Right. Hop onto my Telegram channel, and then you can actually see my price entry at the exact price entry. All right. So I'm currently waiting for this to retrace back, right, to where I actually place a sell position. Okay, it's a sell limit. So I'll be waiting for this price to go, basically do a retracement, and then actually start dumping all the way to the bottom. So TikTok, welcome to the new joiners. All right. Sell limit where? I have a sell limit at this level here. Basic at 1.35406. Right, this is USD CAD. Not gold, not gold. This is USD CAD. Because gold I was actually wanting to sell in it, right? Alright, okay, so if we look at gold, I actually have my sell limit at this level here, right? 2174. Right, so basically the reason why I placed it here is because of a certain supply level at this level here. Alright, but the price barely took my order, right? It came to 2172, another like 15 pips before we actually can, 16 pips before we actually take a sell. So basically, since we see this massive drop from gold, about 150 pips, right? So I don't see what's the reason we should continue holding our sell limit. Because if this can dump 150 pips in just like matter of 2 hours, 3 hours, right? It can reverse and just go all the way up, right? So I don't see why I should continue holding. So basically for gold, I will just wait for a new setup. Probably later in the day, today, maybe later at night. Towards midnight, maybe Malaysian time, yeah, or maybe then we will actually look at gold next week on Monday. All right. So basically, right now I do see potential for USD CAD and also AUD USD. All right. So AUD USD, why I'm not taking this trade, right? Even though if we do see the price has already actually triggered, right? But I did not take the sell limit here. Reason is because I don't have a beautiful RR. Right? What does RR mean? Is basically my risk to reward. All right. So my risk to reward, if we see here, is only a 1 to 1.8, right? Which means if I lose $1, I make $1.80, right? But it's not something that you can't take. You can take, right? So I have some issues with this. Why I'm not taking. Number one is because of this risk to reward. All right. And the second thing also, we do see that this supply zone here, this box here, right? It has been broken before and it came back, right? And now it's retracing, and we do see like a strong bullish momentum at the moment here, right? So that is why I'm not hopping on to AUD USD. If I'm looking at USD CAD, right? So USD CAD is basically based on hour 4, right? So on hour 4 we have the tap in on my supply level, right? So that's why after a certain confirmation, that's why I decided to place a sell limit. But I will be trailing my sell limit. The more it goes down, right? Then basically my entry level will go lower, right? Because I'll be entering at the 618 and 786 zone, right? If it goes lower, I will pull my entry level lower, right? So basically, if you do see my sell limit right now here, right, it's between the 618 and also the 786, right? So I will for now just leave it at this level, right? But if I do see probably maybe if I do see a stronger retracement, then I may be leaving it at this level. But if I do see like a smaller retracement, right, then I will actually move my entry down to this 618 level. Okay, so this is USD CAD. USD CAD you sell. USD CAD I am going to sell. I have a sell limit placed. All right, at this level. 35406. Right, you can also actually put it at 1.35374. You can place your sell limit there, right? Because it's in between my Fibonacci 618 and also the 786 zone, right? It's between those two lines, so you can put it at the 618. You can put it in between, or you can put it at the 786. Right, but my stop loss and also my TP will never change, right? My stop loss is at 1.35530, and my TP will be at 1.34200, right? So those two will be fixed. It won't be changing, right? The only thing that's changing is my entry level. All right. What time news? In 5 more minutes we have one news, but it's a medium impact. Let me just show you. All right. Right. You can see later at 9:15. Right, 9:15 we do have an orange folder, which means it's a medium impact. It's the industrial production. Right. Another 4 more minutes, then we will have the news. So basically, 10 o'clock is the one that is higher impact. Right. So based on that, if we look at the forecast and also the previous, right, it's not looking very good for the USD, right? So I do believe that the USD is going to dump, right? It's going to drop. We can see, for example, like for gold, right? Just now it was a little bit stronger, right? It did this dump, and then at the lowest here at 2157, it actually started to rise, right? It has gone up to about 40 to 50 pips roughly, right? So, but like I said for gold, right, it has already made a huge jump of 150 pips. So I wouldn't be looking at gold at the moment. All right, so I'll just keep this maybe for next week. Then I will come back to gold and see if there's a potential entry. All right, but for USD CAD, I do see a potential sell, right? So that's why I actually place a sell limit. Okay, so if you want to, you can feel free and just follow my entry, right? So if you are following my entry here at this sell limit, my exact price here, your stop is only like 12 pips roughly, right? But if you're using this entry here at this 618 level, your stop is about 15 pips. Also a very tight stop loss, right? But what we are looking at is actually the risk to reward, right? So just now, if you are entering at this level, you have about 1 to 9 risk to reward. If it's slightly lower, you have about 1 to 7 risk to reward. So it's still fine, right? Anything that's above 1 to 2 risk to reward or 1 to 3 risk to reward, right? I think it's okay to actually take the trade. But for me, I have my criteria, which is if it's lower than 2, right? If I don't get a 1 to 2 RR, then I wouldn't be taking the trade. Even though that trade is going to hit TP, I wouldn't be taking, because I do have my own trading plan. So I'm going to stick to my trading plan, and you basically got to be disciplined with your trading plan, right? So just follow your trading plan, and it will work out fine. So if the news is going to be in about 1.5 more minutes to go, right? And it's a medium impact, but we will see some movement, all right? But at 10 o'clock is the one that it's a much bigger impact, right? So we do have about 45 more minutes to go for that, all right? So my sell limit has been placed. I won't be adjusting it for now, all right? I will just leave it as it is at if you can see at this level. Just let me type it out for you guys. Alright, so just let me type it out for you guys. Alright, so I have a sell limit at this level here, stop loss and also TP being placed. Alright, if you want to follow my entry, right, feel free to take it as well. but make sure you don't risk too much because today it's a Friday, right? So usually Friday will tend to be a little bit more volatile sometimes, right? And also Friday it's where a day where a lot of people will try to rush in for trades, and if you're not patient enough, then you might probably get stopped out. Uh, Also, there are people that is removing their trades, closing their trades, right? So we'll see how it goes. Okay. If you guys have any question, please do feel free to just ask me. All right. If I can help you guys to answer it, I will definitely help you guys out. So just feel free to ask me anything. Regards to trading or not trading, whatever it is, just ask. So in the time being right now, I basically looked through quite a lot of pairs just now. Uh, Basically a lot of it also we are going to be waiting for quite some time, right? So the ones that I see is basically USD CAD and also AUD USD. So I've explained to you guys why I'm not taking AUD USD and why I'm taking the USD CAD pair, right? So we'll just wait out to see how USD CAD is going to perform. If it's going to perform well for us, then we will be ending the week pretty good. Otherwise, we'll just focus on next week. How much you trade for USD CAD? Basically, I trade. I don't have a fixed lot size, right? So basically, what I do is I'm just risking either 0.5% of my account or maybe 0.25% of my account. Right? It depends on how much risk you want to take, right? So per lot, I'm not. I don't have a fixed lot size. I don't have a fixed lot size. So if let's say we look at this here, right? If you look at this, my available right now is 9.5k, right? So 9.5k, if I'm risking 0.5%, which means I'm risking about 48 USD, right? I'm risking 48 USD. So 48 USD, it's something that I think it's reasonable for you to risk, right? So if you're asking me what's the lot size, you can probably calculate from here, basically from my entry to the stop is about 12 pips, right? So if I'm risking 48 USD for this trade, this one could be probably around 0.4 lots roughly. Yeah, around there, 0.4. Yeah, about almost maybe 0.5. No, I think it should be lesser. It should be lesser. Probably around 0.38 or 39 lots, roughly around that. Right. So basically, I don't have a fixed lot size. I just have a fixed risk percentage in terms of percentage wise. So it's either 0.5% or quarter of a percent, quarter of 1%. Right. So basically, what I do, if you can see here, I create a limit order, right? This risk here in percentage wise, right? I based on my current limit, my current balance, right? If I'm just going to risk 0.25, right? Then you can see that I'm risking 24 USD. right? I'm not going to see my profits here, right? This profit here, I'm not going to see. I'm just going to ignore this, but I'm just going to see this, right? So if I'm risking 0.25%, I'm risking this amount. And if I'm risking 0.5%, right, I'm basically risking 47, almost 50 USD, right? So that's how I risk my account. That's how I trade. So I don't have a fixed lot size. This week, lot of flip result. You mean for the news for USD? Yeah, basically we do see like but not necessary, right? Okay, if we do see like this pump alone, this is yesterday, right? With the very heavy news yesterday, we do have a strong USD, right? This made a very huge pump. But if you look at the week before, it made a very huge dump, right? It made USD quite big. Uh, if if you want to look at this way, you probably should be looking at the DXY, right? You should probably be looking at the DXY chart, right? So if you do see DXY basically on the hour 4, right? It did this dump last year, October. From October, it did this massive dump, right? And then it started to recover, right? Towards the year end, 28 December, it started to recover all the way to mid of February, right? And February, it started to dump again, right? So if we are looking at this level here, right? Let's just say, for example, I'm doing it something like this, right? Let's just say this is my flip from the lowest to the highest here, right? If let's say this area here, this demand area, right? If this demand area is strong enough, it should be pushing the dollar higher, right? It should be pushing the dollar higher. So we'll just see how it goes, all right? If you look at the daily, yesterday we do have a very strong bullish close, right? Look at the weekly at the moment. Weekly is only half of what last week did. Last week did a very huge dump. Right? This week it basically recovered a little and it's just halfway there. Right? So we want to see how good, how strong is the USD going to recover from. So if you want to know how the USD is performing, then you should actually look at the DXY chart on TradingView. Then it will be easier for you to understand if the dollar is strengthening or is weakening. Because it's hard to say if you're just looking based on like if you're looking at gold or USD CAD or AUD USD, right? If you see like example for USD CAD, if you see all of a sudden USD CAD is dumping, so if it's dumping, which means USD CAD, USD is weak and the Canadian is strong, right? Sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes it's USD is just stable there, but probably the Canadian dollar for that moment is stronger than the US dollar, right? So that's why USD CAD is dumping, right? So if let's say for example we look at yesterday, all the JPY pairs. If let's say we look at example, let's just take Euro JPY, right? If you look at Euro JPY yesterday, right, we see this huge dump, this candle, right? This one dump all of a sudden. This happened at 9:15, right? So let's look at Euro AUD. 9:15 is here, right? It didn't even dump that much, right? Let's look at another maybe like Euro USD, right? Yesterday at 9:15. About here, right? Yeah, this one here, this candle here, right? It barely moved, right? So basically, if we look at Euro JPY back, we do see this huge dump, right? So basically, the euro is not weak, right? It's just that the Japanese yen for that moment is strong. So if you look back on all the JPY pairs at 9:15, you will see a very big bearish candle, right? You see a very big bearish candle. So sometimes it just depends on which currency you are trading against. Then you just focus and look at that currency. This week break even for me. If you are following my signals, this week we did make profit on Monday. We took a loss yesterday. But in the week, if you're ending it right now, I'm still in profit actually. Right, I'm still in profit uh about 60% of what I earned on Monday. I'm still in profit of about 60%. Yep. So if you want to have this, even though we take a loss yesterday, right? But I'm still in profit for the week, so I think it's good enough, right? You have any channel? Yeah, yeah. This is my Telegram channel here. Right, you go to your Telegram, right? You just because I think someone actually said the link on my bio is not working, right? So what you do, you just go to the Telegram, right? You search this in your Telegram, and it will direct you to my channel, right? Then you can just hop into my channel. We do live every day, every weekdays, Monday to Friday, mainly purely on the New York session, right? Which is 8:30 Malaysia time, right? So you hop into my channel. I will update you when I'm doing live. If I'm taking a trade during the day, I will give you a signal as well. So feel free to hop into our channel, and you can actually just see what we are doing there. Just give me a moment, yeah, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Your favorite pair? My favorite pair. Uh, I think my favorite pair is basically just the USD, right? I mean, if I think something that a lot of people will have to agree. I think in a lot of Malaysians basically prefer trading gold, right? I've traded a lot of times on gold. I have lost a lot on gold. I've also gained a lot from gold. But I think gold is a pair that is very volatile. And I think if let's say you're starting out from gold, I think you should actually try and avoid gold first as a beginner, right? Go for currencies. I think I actually, when I really figured out what is trading, right, I actually started looking at AUD USD and also Euro USD, right, because these two pair are a much more slower pair. It doesn't have much of a volume unless if there's news. All right, so I think AUD USD and Euro USD is something that is it's reasonable. All right. As for other pairs, I think for me right now, I look at gold daily, right? I'll try to take positions from gold as well. If you're saying currency, I'll try to look at GBP USD. Uh, USD JPY, GBP JPY. GBP JPY not too much. I think I look at GBP USD and also USD JPY more often. And then like for USD CAD, AUD USD, all these other pair, I just take a brief look at it, and if there's an opportunity, then yes, I will still take it. Okay, right, so we do have this movement right now. Right, I will be going offline already. I'm gonna end my live, right? So I will just give you guys this. You can take a screenshot of this right now, right? This entry is my exact entry, right? But if you there's a possibility that it will reverse at this level as well, which is at 1.35374, right? So if you want, you can also put your sell limit at 1.35374, right? You can put it there, same stop loss, same TP. All right, so I will update you guys if my order's been triggered. If it's not triggered and if I see the price dumping continuously, I will ask you guys to just cancel the order. All right, so I'm going to turn off live now, and we'll just see if 10 o'clock, 30 more minutes, see how the market is going to react. All right, and if it's going to take our order and dump, then it's good for us. We will be ending the week beautifully. And if not, then we'll just wait till Monday to get some opportunities and just start the week all over again. All right, so thank you guys for joining my live, and I'll see you guys next week Monday. And as usual, I'll go live on Monday as well, basically every weekdays from 8:30. All right, so I see you guys next week. All right, thank you guys, and bye bye.